Welcome back to Let's Play Knights of the Old Republic 2. I'm Hunter Black Luna, and we were about to dramatically escape from an explosion. So let's get going with that. Apparently they never trained us in sword safety in the military.
Greeting. It is a pleasure to see you alive, Master, provided my receptors are not off focus. How may I be of assistance?
Oh my.
Answer. I am a survivor of the Harbinger, just as you were, Master. With the unexpected termination of my previous Master, you are the only organic which I may now serve. Answer. The captain of the Harbinger, Master. I was in transit to Telos to facilitate communications and terminate hostilities. However, we did not arrive at our intended destination.
What happened?
Irritated answer. Oh, Master, it is such a long, dull story, and not terribly relevant to our current situation.
I'd say it is.
Hesitant explanation. That has been the subject of considerable discussion since our arrival here, Master. Many have attempted to claim you and this unit as salvage. I was crudely interrogated concerning our brief history together on board the Harbinger, before its communications, weapons, and engines suffered the cascade failure that disabled the ship. Speculation. It is possible you were incapacitated and locked in the well-shielded cargo compartment as the Harbinger was being systematically crippled, Master.
Yeah. Suspicious yet? I mean, if the fact that it's not, or at least it looks like HK-47, very suspicious. In this conversation, he actually betrays a lot, which is surprising considering, you know, droid efficiency.
Recitation. Following the unusual set of coincidences that led to the cascade failure in the Harbinger's systems, we were boarded by a small freighter with unknown ID codes. It appeared that this freighter had been attacked, and the captain wanted to study it. This freighter appeared to be still spaceworthy. Your cargo compartment was breached, and you were taken on board the freighter shortly before the Harbinger's systems began to go critical. I, too, managed to board the freighter before the Harbinger's destruction. We were most fortunate to have survived, Master. Evaluation. Master, I do not know. Judging from the damage, it had been attacked by a much larger vessel. And when it attempted to escape the Harbinger with you on board, it was fired on again. Addendum. It does seem odd that such a small vessel has a high probability of attracting the attention of much larger vessels. Not a welcome trait in a freighter, to be sure. Explanation. I believe it was a smuggler's vessel by the name of the Ebon Hawk. Speculation. As to its purpose, I do not know. Perhaps it was always its intention to play dead, then kidnap you off the Harbinger and rob me of my bounty. Clarification. By bounty, I refer to your life, Master. It would pain me to see you damaged in any way. That is why the arrival of this Ebon Hawk caused me considerable distress.
This stinks to high heaven. Well, and of course, we've seen the prologue, so we've seen this thing emerging from the cargo compartment and gunning down T3 and C4.
Apology. My memory core cannot provide a clear answer on that point, Master. Suffice to say that once we arrived at this floating rock, our situation became much clearer.
How so?
Explanation. Despite my market value, Master, the miners were far more interested in you. It did not take long for me to ascertain the reason for this. While an HK protocol droid is a valuable piece of property, Jedi are worth much more in certain exclusive markets across the galaxy. Painful admission. I must confess to feelings of inferiority at the speculated difference between my value and the price for your capture. I was forced to remind myself it was not due to a failing of my model or function, but because you were a Jedi. Surprised answer. Why, I told them, Master. You are the exiled Jedi who served with Revan in the Mandalorian Wars, are you not? I hope all that has happened has not been the result of a miscommunication. If so, then the problem lies with the core word databases, which are notoriously spotty. Answer. All that has happened has been because they believe you to be a Jedi, Master. They debated what to do with you as you lay unconscious in the medical bay. One group seemed intent on selling you as property. The other group opposed this.
Yeah, Atten told us. But he couldn't really tell us what happened afterwards, and I suspect this droid might know a thing or two.
3 standard hours after the division between the miners became apparent, accidents began to occur throughout the facility. A result of improper maintenance, I believe. These accidents coincided with the degradation of the mining droid behavioral cores. Crude models are prone to such failures, resulting in murderous rampages. The mortality rate of organics in the facility rose quickly.
I bet.
Many miners began to join you in the medical bay as a cascade of flawlessly timed detonations occurred in isolated gas pockets in the lower levels of the facility. The explosions herded the miners into emergency sections of the station, quickly and efficiently cutting them off from communications and facility control. But sadly enough, not the ventilation systems. You see, the explosions had damaged specific sections of this facility's ventilation systems, causing a slow, lethal buildup of toxic fumes in the dormitory level. Answer. I do not know, Master. Ironically enough, any miner that fled to the dormitory level to protect themselves from the droids and the explosions would find themselves in a gas-filled death trap. It is unlikely any miners remain alive. As I said, the dormitory has been cut off from the rest of the facility, as has the hangar bay. There is no escape.
You seem awfully certain about that.
Apology. Unfortunately, communication with the dormitory section is severed, Master. It is perhaps for the best, especially if any other accidents have occurred in that section. If that were the case, the severed comlink would have spared us the satisfaction of hearing the miners' screams as they lived out their last moments in fear and terror. Rapid retraction. Why, yes, satisfaction in knowing their fate, Master.
Of course.
It would be unfortunate if they had been slaughtered, but there would be a calm, comforting certainty that there is nothing we can do to escape until a ship arrives. Theory. You could walk across the surface of the asteroid to the dormitory airlock, but such a route would be extremely hazardous, and I do not wish to see you damaged. Warning, Master. Continued exploration of this facility may place you in unnecessary danger. I encourage you to return to the medical bay and wait for retrieval from a vessel that is no doubt on the way, even as we continue this pointless conversation.
I'm becoming as convinced as Kreia that we should probably get out of here as quickly as possible.
Weary resignation. Very well, Master, but there is very little that I can do. You see, the airlock is sealed by a code. Correction. Oh, I already possess the code, Master, but I am afraid that it will do you no good. Condescending explanation. Master, the console governing the droid maintenance area and the airlock is voice-printed music. In the last days of his life, the maintenance officer was quite careful about voice protocols, bordering on paranoid obsession. Conjecture. I suspect once he realized something was wrong in the facility, he voice-locked the droid bay functions. A prudent measure, but in the end, he met the same fate as the rest of the organics. Explanation. Yes, Master. Many consoles have voice recognition sensors built into their systems so that only selected individuals can unlock them. Condescending explanation. Oh, yes, Master. The code is Maintenance Control Voice Print ID R1B5. But unless the maintenance officer speaks the code, it is useless. Answer. Master, you cannot. You are trapped here just as I am. There is nothing to do, except patiently wait for whatever the future has in store for us.
I think we're good. More light side points, because we care about what happened to the miners. I was reading a text-based LP of this game on Something Awful some time ago, and the LPer pointed out that in this game, the writing is so strong that instead of boss fights, we have critical conversations with critical characters, and conversations with, say, HK are a boss fight all of their own. And there's very few games that are willing to rely so completely on the strength of their writing and their dialogue and their conversations and stuff. Well now. Well, there's a voice print sensor, but the maintenance officer is still dead. And there's a workbench there with much better functionality. General. General. There we go. I suppose we could level up too. Maybe I'll wait till my next fight. I don't know, level 4 is kind of an important level. Screw it, I'll just level up now. We're moving up in the world. Now the question is, do I want to go into strength so heavily again? Or do I want to branch out into other paths? Intelligence would be good, given how many skill points we have. Wisdom is good for force powers, charisma. I think I'm actually going to go with... nah, strength. Will always be fun. Screw it, I'm gonna go with intelligence on this one, just to be a little bit different. Alright, our effective skill in computer use is 8. Now our effective use in repair is 8. Our effective persuade skill is like 9 already. That is not bad. I think I'm gonna plug the remaining points into demolitions. We won't really need stealth a whole ton more. Awareness is kinda nice to have. As our security and treat injury, but we can get our way around most of these. Yeah. I think my choices here are pretty solid. I'm gonna want those extra skill points when I get another intelligence. That's for sure. Now what do I want for my next force power? Now the possibilities kinda branch out a little bit. There's always regular stun, affect mind. I don't know how well that works on droids. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Force, aura, and valor are also good. Although I think for my buffs, I'm definitely gonna climb the battle meditation routes. And that's not it. There we go. Because these improved forms of battle meditation just look completely badass. We don't get healed till level 6, but that shouldn't be too far away. That's the question. Force Valor, or Stun, or Affect Mind. I think I'm gonna go with, if I get too many buffs then I won't care and I just won't use them. So screw it. I'm just gonna go for Stun, because Stasis Field is always good to have. Always good to have the Force, baby. Alright, we cleared out this area. Let's check out the Workbench. I love workbenches in this game. We can go for upgrades. We don't have anything for the uniform yet, unfortunately. But for the Vibroblade, we have an Ionite Edge. That's 1 to 4 extra damage versus droids. That ain't nothing, that's for sure. Yeah, and basically we're still just fighting droids. So it sounds good to me. Now let's check out creating and breaking down items. You can do that with a lot of stuff, depending on how many components you have. Having a vibro sword would be cool. And your repair skill kinda governs. You need 10 repair to create a vibro sword. We're not too far off from that day. But the most important thing are, we can make computer spikes, parts, security tunnelers. I mean, that's just incredible. In fact, I'm gonna get up to 5 computer spikes. And an extra couple of tunnelers, and I wonder what we could break down. These things are pretty worthless as far as it goes. I don't really need survey gear. I don't need that many energy shields, surely. This is kind of whittling away at the problem one thing at a time. Things like save enhancers I really don't care about. We can break down data pads. Also, I don't know how we got this data pad that T3 had, but hey. Oh, we can do it. There's not much else that's of value about that. We have 9 repair kits. Oh, flamethrower. I think I want to keep some of that stuff. Toxin emitter. I tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and break that down. I'll keep the advanced mining laser for now. View creatable items. Ion cell. You know, we could really... Wow, these things are really cheap too. I know they're really basic, but if we could trick this sword out... we could really make it something impressive. See, now that's what I'm talking about. That's why I like upgrading more in this game. And for my final trick in terms of components, a part or a spike? I'll take a part. And a spike. There we go. Always nice to have a high supply of those kind of critical items. Obviously we can't go back that way. Let's explore a little further ahead and see what we can find at the airlock itself. Uh-oh. Significant amount of enemies. Let's go this way first. Let's run. Uh-oh. Ow. It hurts, man. Oh man, combine this with power attack and we are dealing serious damage. Enough to kill a basic model in one hit, it looks like. Still can't get through that force field. Ah, disabled. Uh-oh. You might be able to repair it, but you can't do that. Wait. Ah. Yeah, you want to hit those from a distance. Still looks like we're okay. We still got 2/3 of our vitality points. It's a trap. Meet the Mark II mining robots. And we're out of force points. Tell you what we're gonna do. Plug that in there. There you go. That'll learn you. Let's hack it open. And we don't even need a plasma torch. Just had to murder him the conventional way. What the hell? Motherfucker. Let's use the advanced mining laser. I mean, usually I'm not a fan of blaster rifles. But if I can't do two-handed much anyway, might as well go for the one that has the best damage rating. Huh. Definitely don't want to use a gun against a shielded opponent. That's kind of folly. Where the fuck are these things coming from? I guess from that room over there. Anybody else want a piece of this? Nah, I didn't think so. Anything to loot in here? Not really. I wonder if a plasma torch could cut it open. Not that I care enough to try, honestly. And I've been out of force points for a while. I remember there being some bad business up ahead. In fact, I remember it being in this area. There's the turbo lift back up to the administration level, so we're not cut off from Kreia and Atten anymore. There's the maintenance station that we need. And in this room, floating mines. So we're just gonna deal with these guys. Let's try a rapid shot. Oh. Hey General, let's also try not running into the mines. Maybe Atten really did need to tell us to be careful. Yeah, rapid shot. Not a fan. Power shot's great though. It's weird that they don't notice us even after we've started attacking them. What a regular attack. There you go. That'll clear them out. That's really all I equipped the blaster rifle for. Hope it generates over time anyway, which is a really nice addition. We ain't getting through that though. Anything else here? Nope. I'm kinda cutting a bunch because... well, I'm not cutting out things, I'm just cutting in and out. It's mostly for performance sake. We could destroy the console. I'm not sure whether that would work. I mean, it probably does. Cameras. Containment field camera. No way to shut down the field? The fuel line. There appears to be a damaged T3 unit. I didn't see it, but that's what the game says. Airlock camera, I guess that would show us the floating mines if we looked there first. Comm system. Inoperable. Right, it's been sabotaged. Let's check out the maintenance logs.
Finished the sonic imprint sensor prototype for the mining droids. Everyone knows they need an upgrade. The sensor should allow me to issue voice commands to them rather than manually adjusting their routine each time the mining specifications change. I've been keeping the sensor in the maintenance workshop for the time being. I wanted to test it first by recording and playing back some simple voice commands. Finished my examination of the droids from the Ebonhawk freighter. The T3 unit looked like it had shut itself down. The protocol droid, however, made up for it. It talked my ear off for most of the hour, asking questions about the facility, the personnel, and so on. Still, it wanted to make itself useful, so I put it to work until its master wakes up from the med bay. It seems to have some skills in speaking to droid behavior course, so... There's been some trouble with some of the mining droids, so I'm signing off.
You getting a picture of what happened to this facility yet?
Been speaking to the protocol droid about the Jedi in med bay. I thought they'd all gone away or been killed in the Jedi Civil War. The droid told me that his master's the only Jedi he knows of in all the galaxy, and that the Jedi had served in the Mandalorian Wars almost 10 years ago. That would have meant that the Jedi served under Revan for a time. Maybe the Jedi knows what happened to Revan after the end of the Jedi Civil War.
Bits and pieces. More than everyone else, apparently.
Been too busy to enter a log for a while. There's been more and more accidents since that Jedi arrived. The miners are starting to get restless, especially Korta. Korta said the exchange is offering a huge bounty on Jedi Knights and that we can make a fortune if we sell the Jedi to Nar Shaddaa. Security shut down that idea pretty quick. But I don't think Korta and his men are gonna give up that easy. I mentioned the trouble to the Jedi's protocol droid. He seemed concerned about his master's safety. I told the droid not to worry. The Korta wouldn't...
Oh, I think that guy seemed just about stupid enough to try it. We can use the sonic sensor to access the log that has him actually saying what the voice print ID is, but there's a bit more of a fun way to do it.
The maintenance check on the droids didn't help. If anything, the accidents have increased. Security interrogated me about the droids and they weren't too happy with my answers. I don't understand it though. These aren't combat models. They shouldn't even know how to attack. I can't help but think, what if somebody staged the initial trouble with the mining droids just to get them all sent to maintenance, and then did something to them? I think security's right. Someone's trying to sabotage this facility and they're using the droids to do it. But why?
To prevent them from selling us? I don't know. Exits from fuel depot. If we can access the fuel lines, we could bypass the containment field and just literally walk in the fuel line to the ship. That's insane. Well, we're pretty insane anyway. I don't know why we'd want to re-enter the tunnels. Alright, we're good for now. Let's head back to the protocol droid. Although frankly, if you played the last game, one of the surprises that the HK has for you isn't much of a surprise. Because you know something.
Greeting. It is a pleasure to see you intact, Master. How may I be of assistance? Answer. That is all that remains of the maintenance officer, Master. At the end, he was quite incoherent from the pain, and attempts to facilitate communications with him proved useless. I heard his dying screams as the droids he tended turned on him, mining him like a piece of asteroid rock.
I don't like the relish in your voice.
Recitation? Oh yes, Master.
Ready for something
The
fucked
record
up?
of his last moments were...
5 droids, burning through the outer door. They're forcing their way into the bay. Please, someone! Oh no, they're through! Oh, my leg! They're burning through my leg! Oh, stop! Stop, please!
Addendum. His remaining attempts at communication are variations in Decibel Master, ranging from frenzied screams to gibbering inarticulate attempts to beg for his life.
Wow.
Objection. Master, to commit such an act would be in violation of the ethics programming most droids are believed to possess. I am afraid there is nothing that can be done.
Notice how he didn't say he possessed this programming.
Proud answer. Master, I believe my vocabulator is working adequately enough to accommodate your request. A recitation.
Maintenance control, voice print ID, R1B5.
There. Was that sufficient, Master?
Yep, that's all I'll need.
Confused query. I am sorry, Master. Were you speaking to yourself?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. Stay here. I'll be back. But don't expect me for a while. Whatever. Creepy as fuck. Who records, like, the dying screams and...
Maintenance control, voice print ID, R1B5.
There you go. Maintenance officer override, and the airlock's ours. So now we can walk across the asteroid. Well, simplest path to the facility if all the doors are blocked and stuff. There were scenes like this in Knights of the Old Republic 1 where you would put on a space suit or a pressure suit or something, some kind of big bulky suit, and you would walk across an area. Typically you wouldn't do any fighting because it's kind of hard to hold a gun with spacesuit stuff. The scenes in the first one probably weren't the most popular thing ever because you moved at an absolutely glacial pace, as you probably know. The thing is though, in this game, they really put a boost on your speed, and I personally appreciate that very much. See, now you walk at a pretty decent rate. And this isn't with force speed or anything, this is just, you know, what the game does for you. You're supposed to avoid these vents, but they're not much to worry about. Look familiar?
That's about time. I lost your signal after you left the mining tunnels. Now you're coming in clear.
Except I'm picking you up on the exterior of the facility, on the asteroid's surface. That can't be right.
Look outside the window.
Huh? What are you doing out there?
Getting to the dormitory section.
You're crazy, even for a Jedi. Look, you need to get out of there, quick.
Why?
What little is left of the facility's venting systems have gone active, most likely from the explosions in the mining tunnels. They're venting Paragus fuel deposits into space through the exterior vents, right in your path.
Oh, brilliant.
I can't. I'm locked out of the main systems here. I couldn't shut it down if I tried. The vents look like they've been purposely rerouted to vent the gases to the exterior. And only in the last few minutes. It's almost as if...
What? What?
What now?
Uh-oh.
I don't believe this. There's a ship coming in, sending a docking code. I have a bad feeling about
What?
this.
Everybody! Rescue's here! It's a Republic battlecruiser! Thank God. If Atton has communications back, then wouldn't that mean that they should be trying to contact him, though? Also, the music is rather mysterious and Wouldn't be the music I'd choose to play if a Republic cruiser came by to save me. And right on cue, the refueling line extends. As we've observed earlier, we could get into that ship through the refueling lines if we were so inclined. Man, it really puts these Republic cruisers into a sense of perspective to actually look at it from a personal level, which you don't get to do unless you're insane and you're walking on the surface of an asteroid. Let's get inside though. Most of the music in this game is mysterious and spooky and stuff. Alright. I don't know. Well, I think this is a good place to pause for now. We'll explore the dormitory section next time on Let's Play Knights of the Old Republic 2. Maybe even try to board that ship. See you then.